Let's uncover a legendary technique from the very first Mr. Olympia himself, the one and only Larry Scott. Forget what you think you know about ab training. Larry Scott's Ring of Fire is a unique system designed to torch fat around your entire midsection, hitting those stubborn lower abs and love handles like nothing else. Get ready to learn directly from Scott as he demonstrates the exact movements that built his iconic tapered waist. Let's ignite that Ring of Fire.
Midsection is red muscle fiber. It's not white muscle fiber. You take a duck is a duck breast is red muscle fiber. You take a duck and throw it up in the air and land in Alaska. You take a chicken, white muscle fiber, throw it up in the air and land on your head. This is red muscle fiber. And it says, when you give it white muscle fiber exercise, it goes, give me a break. I could do that all day long. I'm red muscle fiber. I'm Alaska bound. And you're doing sit-ups and you're going, that's all I can stand of those things. I don't want to look any better than that. But when you learn to work red muscle fiber with the kind of exercise that red muscle fiber wants, your waist just goes, boom. And you know what the area you want more than any else? Is right down here, between the navel and the pubic bone. I used to work out all the time. I did sit-ups and leg raises, and my wife used to say, how come you got that little pooch down there and you work out all the time? Well, first thing I wanted was a divorce. And second was, I wanted to find out how to work those stinking lower abs, the pot belly. We put an ad in the paper. The most interest-getting ad we ever run is how to get rid of your pot belly. Because after a person turns 30, gravity pulls down on their internal organs, pushes out against those lower abs. They start to stick out, and it starts to push down on your pelvis, and it goes down, and the back goes up, and you get too much curve in your low back, and you got that belly, and you got to decide, should I wear my belt above or below my waistline? Too many go below. But if you just learn to do this strange exercise that you got to do all by yourself because it's embarrassing. So when you got to pull the pelvis up, makes you look like you're just doing it kind of like a love thrust. But you got to just pull that hummer up, and the only muscle that can pull that pelvis up is the very one that's pooching out. And so once you learn to do that, it pulls that thing tight. And the wonderful thing about red muscle fiber is when it relaxes, it doesn't just pooch out all the way. It relaxes a little tighter than before. And before long, it relaxes like this. So after I start doing this movement, I get up in the morning, I touch my stomach. It's flat. Man. I ask a woman, why do women want flat muscles? Why do they want to get rid of their pot belly? I said, I know why men do, because it makes them look virile. You don't want to look virile, do you? She says, no, but it's sexy. And I guess it is. After you reach a certain age, if you're flat to the midsection, it looks good on man or woman. And you got to learn to put that thing into cramp. I do have a video of it. I'll tell you more about that Ring of Fire.
Now we want to show you exactly how it's done. You can just use a lat machine like this, put a rope on it like we see here, and first thing you do is you want to pull the weights down until at least the weights leave the stack, because it should be hanging so your body's supporting it. And you pull it down far enough so the upper arm, this is your proper posture, so the upper arm right here is parallel with the ground. Then you'll know you got it right when it's like that. Okay, now, what you're trying to do, one of the reasons we have pot belly is because we have poor musculature right down here between the navel and the pubic bone. And in order to get rid of it, to get more muscularity there, we're going to show you how to do this movement. So the first thing we do is we stand with our feet parallel with the ground, parallel with each other, and about shoulder width. Now, we're going to have Missy just show this movement by throwing her pelvis forward. Good. Put it down again. Now throw it way up. All right. Now this time, throw it up like that and hold it. Now hold it right there. Don't change that. Now squeeze down here on top. Good. Hold it right there. Just like that. Okay, now lift this again. Good. Okay, hold it there. Squeeze down one more time. Okay, now hold it right there. Now lift it up. Okay, now see if you can go into cramp. Squeeze as hard as you can. Everything you got. Feel those muscles are really hard there. That's exactly how you do it. Just like that. Now see how flat she is here? Because when you lift that pelvis up like that, it flattens the lower abs right here. And the only muscle that can do that is the lower abdominals, and that gets rid of the pot belly. So that's exactly the way it's done. How about how we work the sides here, the love handle area here, and love handle back here, and the obliques here.
The key is lift, squeeze, burst. Make it go into cramp. When it goes into cramp, you stretch it out and you move to the next one. It's lift the hip, squeeze, and burst. And it goes into cramp, you stretch it out. And your waist is going to go just like mine did. I learned this ring of fire, and my waist went down to what it was in high school. And I was like 60. So it was a fantastic way to do it. And I was thick. My waist had gone up to about 34, 36. So you can see all he's doing is just, he's recruiting muscle fibers by sitting down here and holding that, and it starts to fire all those muscles. Here you can see him here do it again. Here he's working on the intercostals. It's just learning to move the hip. Just lift the hip, squeeze down, and make it go into cramp, and stretch it out. Go to the next one. Got 9 muscle groups around the midsection. Upper, lower abdominals, intercostals, oblique, quadratus, spinal rectus, and on around. And everybody wants a firm, hard midsection, and you can get it in just a few minutes a day doing that ring of fire, we call it. It has to go into cramp. The muscle has to go into cramp. That red muscle fiber cannot ignore that. When it goes into cramp, it sends an alarm signal, clang, 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 to the pituitary gland. It says, send me growth hormone. The guy's going crazy. And it starts pumping growth hormone, and growth hormone does 3 things. Burns fat, builds muscle, makes you look and feel younger. So you want all the growth hormone. When you were a teenager, your body was pumping it out like crazy. You could do anything. You could eat. You could abuse your body. You still look good. Then about age 30, everything began to change. It stopped releasing as much growth hormone. But the pituitary, when they examine the pituitary gland of 80-year-old cadavers, they are full of growth hormone. It's just a matter of getting your body to release it. And that's one of the ways you do it, is by getting the muscles to go into cramp, especially red muscle fiber. The secret is the lift. Lift, squeeze, burst.
We're going to start working the rest of the midsection. And that's a little bit more complicated because here your head changes a certain direction, depending on where you're working, and also your hips are going to change, and you're going to start moving your feet in order to get those muscles to go into cramp. Because the key to the ring of fire working is getting those muscles to go into cramp. So let's go through that. So to start off with, we're going to work these intercostals that are right here on the inner side here, and that means that you're going to put your foot forward, raise up on your toe, and then we're going to have Mitzi lift her hip way up. And her head is supposed to be right even with this. There, just like that. Lift that up like that, and then reach down and crunch on that thing. That's good. It's good. I can feel that flex. All right, very good. And that's, she's working right here. This area right here. Okay, now put your hip back down again.
Important abdominal training tips. Midsection is red muscle fiber. It has to be trained different. You got to make it go into cramp. You can train midsection several times a day because it recuperates. White muscle fiber has to recuperate 72 hours. Red muscle fiber, you can do it in the morning, noon, night, and it recuperates easily. You can spot reduce if you spot train.
All right, now when you put your hands behind your head like you're going to do a sit-up. And all you're going to do is roll up like you were a roll of carpet, keeping your back pressed against the floor, up and down. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll up as far as you can. Okay, and then roll back down. Don't ever let keep your low back pressed against the ground as you do this. Okay, then back down. Okay, that's the crunch. Now that'll get a little bit harder for you as you get different positions for your feet. Do that same thing.
And it's for lower abs. Good exercise.
Oh my gosh, that's good. There's no way. Now we know what Larry did.
Okay, it's really pretty easy.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. It looks good.
So what you're doing is you're pulling up here, and then you twist to the side.
That's correct.
You hold that position.
Yeah, that's correct form.
We all had 43 cents.
Yay.
Yeah. We only got 27.
Woo! Good.
Good. Come on, Justin. Yeah.
Now he's getting the rest.
Good.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to get the pelvis to rock through its full range of motion. So you get your stomach stuck out first. And then you rock to a flat back, with your back pressed against the bench. It's kind of like the thought of you want to stick your stomach out because it's like doing calf raises. You want to get through a range of motion. The muscle builds a lot better if you're going through its full isolation. If you're going from full contraction to full extension. That's why if you did barbell curls, if you just held the barbell like this, you wouldn't grow nearly as well as if you were going all the way up and all the way down. And when you're trying to work lower abdominals, which, by the way, lower abdominals are a wonderful exercise to build because that's what gives you your strength in your pelvic floor. So that when you're doing squats, you can hold your pelvis out here. Because when your pelvis gets like this, you get injured. Even when you go shopping, after a while you start off with it, and before long, you're tired, and your back is like this, and your back aches. You got to get your pelvis back like that again. And also pot belly. So the people that have that pot belly, this strengthens right down there, right down there. Otherwise, the leg raises never do it. That's just hip flexors. Sit-ups don't do it, what we were doing earlier. This is the only one that really works isotonically, lower abs. All right. Up on there, Leanne.
You don't want Julie to try since I messed up.
Yeah, you can do this. Julie, do it. I should have shown you with. This is not easy. It's a hard movement to get.
The concept is difficult to coordinate all the body parts together.
It is. Now you want your knees out about like that because it gives you some stress. Now you have to think in terms of there. That's it. There, that's it. That's rocking. Get your knees out a little further.
Ooh, that makes it harder.
Yeah, it does. There, stick that stomach out. Good, good. That's good, Julie.
It feels funny, doesn't it?
That is good. That's great. That's fantastic. Now get your legs out more so you get more stress. That's it. Rock way down, way down. So it works. And pull down.
He's good at it.
That is. That's good.
Excellent. It's hard. It's hard. You got it down now.
That's a funny little movement, but once you get it, you can feel it just like you're working neck. And then all you do is just a short movement. You don't go up very far. You just up far enough. That's about it. And all that is upper rectus abdominals that you're working right in here. She has her legs up, so she's not working rectus femoris at all. No hip flexors. See, her legs are soft, and then she's hard right here. So it's just getting rid of this, or strengthening this area right here.
Can you feel that, Leanne?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Very isolated.
All right, good. Thanks, Leanne. Getting this area right down over there, so you're pulling over that hip. Not so much twisting the body as pulling off this side. Short, there. That's it, right there. That's it, there.
No, I can feel it pull.
Then that gets all those muscles that sit across here like this. All that intercostal area.
And does it help to actually shape you for a woman who's always concerned with that? Does it
Yeah, absolutely.
help bring that in and bring that in?
Yeah, you bet. That's a great exercise for that. And it's a little bit harder than you'd normally find because most of the time when you do sit-ups, you're using a lot of hip flexors. But with this machine, you can't use hip flexors, so it's really hard. And I know Leanne hasn't done this, so I'm going to show you just exactly what I'm talking about. First, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's pretty hard to do this wrong, but it's done just like this. And the feet are not held down. The feet are loose. You're doing it just like this, and it's surprisingly hard. But the reason it's hard is because you can only use rectus abdominals. You cannot use hip flexors. Down on the ground here, and have your hips all the way over. That's it. Okay, now lay down here and spin around all the way up. Okay, now put your legs out straight on the mirror. That's it, like that. Okay, your hands behind your head. Now this also blocks the rectus femoris. It can't work. The abdominals have to do everything. So, all right, now just do sit-ups, just a crunch up as far as you can go. Okay, up, down. That's it, just like that. That's feet against the wall sit-ups.
Are you ready to give the Ring of Fire a trial? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this golden era wisdom valuable, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more classic training secrets and rare footage.